guys, welcome back to another episode of Unteamed Outdoorsman. Today we are in the Ascend 133X and I'm going to be giving you a tutorial and in-depth overview of my Garmin EchoMap UHD 93 SV fish finder. So as you guys once saw, I used to have the Garmin Striker 5 CV fish finder for this kayak and we did a video similar to this and it has over 40,000 views now. So I just want to say a huge thank you for everybody that watched that video and enjoyed it. And today we are back. We're going to be doing the same thing for my new fish finder. And before we get started, it turns out over 90% of you guys are not subscribed. So if you do enjoy the content that we make, be sure to subscribe. It's free and it helps us out a lot. We'll get started right now. This video is going to be similar in a lot of ways. It's going to be different in a lot of ways. A lot of new features on this fish finder. A lot of new things to talk about. So we're going to get started here. So when you first buy this fish finder, after you set it up and everything's ready to go, you're going to run into a setup screen similar to how you would set up a phone. So, location, how to set up if you're using a motorboat or if you're using a sailboat, things like that, language, all those different things. And then you're going to be greeted with this screen right here. So we have it in the simulation mode right now. So I'm just going to go through all these menus. I'm not going to be explaining how fish finders work. I'm not going to be explaining how to read them. I'm just going to be explaining you the features and the options that this fish finder has. So all of these features are going to be the exact same as the 73 SV, the EchoMap. This one is just the 9-inch model. So 93 is the 9-inch model and 73 is the 7-inch model. Both are going to be exactly the same, but this one's just going to be a little bit bigger. So we're going to get started here. So this is the first page that you're going to be greeted with. We're going to hop right into this. So charts. This is your fishing chart right here. So it's going to explain all the different things you have. So it is a simulation. So all these different options here, it's going to give you just a general map of what you're faced with, what's in front of you, what's behind you. You can zoom in, zoom out like I'm doing now. I'm going to back out of here. And this is a very responsive system. Okay, so moving on, we got navigation charts. So this is going to be if you put a waypoint in, if you have a motorboat or anything. I don't particularly use this a whole lot, but this does give depth, which is a pretty cool feature as well. So it'll let you know, and you can set layers. So like you can set, it'll say on the fish finder, it'll give you colors for how close the depth is. So if it's like green, it can be 10 feet, yellow will be 5 feet, and then 2 feet can be red to show you that you're going to be close to the bottom. So you can customize that all in there. Perspective 3D is one that I definitely do not use. I see no point in using it. But I would see it if it had a purpose in like a really big boat. I could definitely see some use there. This just gives you a different perspective of what you're looking at on the maps. Sonar, not a whole lot to talk about here. Very similar to the Garmin Striker on this side, besides the side view, but I'll get into that in a second. Traditional, it's going to be a normal sonar, nothing special there. Clear view, this is going to be a very structure-oriented setup. So this one is not really going to show you a whole lot of fish, but it's going to show you structure. It's just a different frequency that you see on here. Side view is one that I didn't have on the Striker. I'm not going to go in depth on how to use it or anything, but right where my finger is right now, that's where the transducer is, and it's just showing you what it saw. So there's going to be nothing new, nothing you haven't seen yet. It's all stuff behind you, but it does have its use in fishing for sure. Probably one of the more useful features that I have. Traditional plus clear view is going to be those first two together. Clear view, side view, pretty self-explanatory stuff. Traditional clear view and side view. Split frequency, so it's going to be two separate frequencies. Sometimes you'll see different things on different frequencies. So that's where that comes into play. Flasher, that's a very ice fishing oriented setup. They come with a whole kit that you can buy that keeps it all together. I'm never going to use this because I'm never going to have a point for it, but I'm sure a ton of people know how to use it and love it. Data graphs, this is just quite frankly, I'm never going to use this either, but this is just another way to view your fish finder. It's not very useful for me. And then sonar recordings, that's pretty self-explanatory. You can just record what you saw. Frequently used, I'm not going to go into that, obviously. Pan optics. So this is where a little bit of confusion comes in. So this thing is equipped to handle pan optics. It does not come with pan optics. So if you bought the whole setup, the whole live scope setup separately, it's going to run you at least $1,000. For a kayak, that's not really worth it for me, but pan optics is extremely useful for advanced fishermen that have bass boats, whatever. It gives you a live feed of what's happening in front of you, behind you, wherever. Live view down, it just gives you, as you can see in the picture, this is the boat right here, and it's showing you what's on your sides directly below you. Front view, this is a whole nother setup here. Real view 3D forward. See, this is where it really gets technical. This is where having that live scope is awesome. This is just really awesome stuff here. Real view 3D down, and then all that different stuff. We have just standard live scope here. This is what, if I had it, this would probably be what I use the most. As you can see, the little movements are fish. And then you can pause and view things a little bit more in depth, kind of like that if I wanted to. Live scope down, same thing. And then perspective, that's all the same thing there, just in live scope form. Autopilot, this is one that you would use for a boat if you had higher end electronics. I don't particularly use that. Combos, this is all of those different things. You can actually customize any ones that you want. So as you can see, I already have one pre-made. I've got another one here. And one of the cool things that you can do is you can preset these 4 numbers on the right side here. So this is how I have it set up. But number 1 is side view here, traditional here, and my maps here. So this is obviously not where I live, but this is just a random pond that's probably auto-generated or something like that. But this is the first one that I use. I use this most of the time because usually I'm fishing newer ponds and I like to know where I am, just a general idea. Just standard side view here. This is just if I need a little bit more definition in my side view, this is where I would find it. So this is side view, clear view, and traditional. I already explained how that works, but this is just my 3rd option. And then my 4th option is just maps. So I'll just know where I am, get a very large angle of that. Okay, so we have media here. This is if you have a boat with speakers or something on it. I'm never going to use this because obviously my kayak doesn't have speakers on it. So I don't plan to go that in depth with my build. Active Captain is one of my favorite features on this fish finder. Active Captain isn't even a fish finder feature at all. All it really is you can pair it to your cell phone and you will get notifications on what's going on your cell phone. So let's say if you get a text message or a phone call, or if, hell, ESPN decides they want to send you a notification, you'll get it right on the bottom of your screen right here. It'll pop up for like maybe 3 to 5 seconds and it'll go back down. It'll beep as well. You can't reply to messages or you can't answer phone calls on it, but it does tell you that, hey, you're getting this message. So that's an awesome feature. That's one of my favorite features on this. Just keeping my phone away from me. You know, I don't like to have my phone out when I fish other than taking pictures. So that's a really nice feature. Just in case like you ever have an emergency or something and you don't have your phone directly on you, you would see it on the fish finder. So that's really good. Gauges, pretty self-explanatory stuff here. This is all your numbers. So GPS speed, heading, GPS position, max speed, bearing, and off course. This is all heavier boat stuff. I do use the GPS speed quite a bit just to know how fast I'm going. Compass, self-explanatory there. Trip, so this odometer. So that's just how far you've moved. You know, all the general stuff there. Engine, this is all your engine gauges. So fuel, RPM, trim, voltage, all those different things. You're going to get them here. Any warning lights you'll get on the side. This is all boat stuff, not necessarily kayak stuff. And this is a custom mercury gauge that they give you. This is pretty cool, although I'll never use it. It is still really cool. Yeah. Wind, this is a way to calculate wind. I should use this more, but I don't, surprisingly enough. I think this would probably come in handy. This is something I'm going to have to consider using a little bit more this year. And then environment. So this is just a general one. Wind, and then your GPS location, compass, all those different things. Air temp. This is just kind of a general information tab here of all the different things that you could use. I definitely want to get into this a little bit more on this side of the fish finder. I think this is pretty cool stuff here. So we're just going to go back to the main menu here. This is your main menu. So all these sections on the bottom are a ton of different things you can choose from. So I got settings here. This is where if you need to change anything, so system, you can change a lot of like the functions of it. So I have the simulator mode on right now. This is where you find that. Language, auto power off, beeper, all those different things. Display, you can change. If you want to change the color, the background, you can change. I can change it from like an ocean like a reef and all those different things. Like carbon fiber is a cool one too. I'm not a fan of that one. This is a fish finder. It's not an iPhone. I like that one quite a bit. And you can just change all these different things here. Backlight, just general settings, kind of like the general settings on an iPhone. My vessel. So this is where you can change like the type of vessel you have. This is more for like boats and things like that, but I'm going to blur that out on the bottom there. But keel offset, transducer type, all those different things you can change. Auto detector, transducer, all those different things you can have there. Alarms, you can change navigation, sonar, AIS, system, fuel, and network. So this will go off if you're low on fuel, if you're hitting a certain point in your nav system, if you're sonar, if you're at a certain point in the depth that you don't want to be, or water temp you don't want to be. All those different things you can set alarms for that'll beep like crazy. I've had them on before, and trust me, they are kind of crazy. Communications, I've never used this before. Not really sure. Okay, so units, this is where you can change all your different, all the small things, like if you need to change your formats or anything like that, depending on your area, what you're more comfortable with. I don't use any of this stuff because I'm not a powerboat. I'm going to work down a little bit more in the settings here. So yeah, this is just like, generally speaking, like if you need to change something in your settings, you're going to find it on the bottom section here. Menu, you can always, this is how you rearrange all these different sections here. You can customize them to however you want. You can really play around with this to your heart's content. And then I'm going to go, let's just say out of curiosity, I'm going to click on this guy right here. So this is a pretty normal menu that you'll see in a lot of these fish finders. I'm going to go to the menu here. And you can customize each and every single one of these to your heart's content. Clear view menu here. You can change your color. You can change the zoom. You can change all these different things. Your overlays. So many different choices here. Go to... See, I just got a notification as well. So that's how the notification system would work. Traditional sonar menu, same thing. Color, all these different things. Sonar setup, you can change scroll speed, set to auto. I personally like auto quite a bit. Appearance you can change, that's what I mean. The colors. Advanced, you can change your interference, color gain, surface noise, TVG. I always keep them at the pretty baseline settings, so I'm not really doing anything overkill. So yeah, guys, that is going to do it. This is just a general overview video. If you want to see us go a little bit more in depth on this, definitely let me know down below. We hope you guys enjoyed. If I missed anything or if you want to see anything in particular, let me know. And I will definitely do this again for you guys another date. All right, guys, so we'll see you later.